In this video, we're going to talk about some of the applications of Voltaic Plasma for aesthetic purposes. It's going to give you an overview about applications, but we're not going to be able to touch all the applications of Voltaic Plasma for aesthetic uses. So we're going to jump directly right now. So, we have chosen to invest in plasma devices because this has a vast array of applications which are charged at a high price, and we thought that we could do much better than what is already available within the market. It is the substitute, plasma is a substitute to scalpel in several aesthetic applications, and is more precise than most scalpels anyway, and we're going to talk about that in a second. It's relatively easy to use compared to most lasers, but always remember that the most added value is on your knowledge about all the applications of plasma and how you use these devices. And this is why one of the reasons why we have invested so much in these videos and also on the voltaicplasma.com website, which provides you with a vast array of knowledge, vast amount of knowledge about all the possible applications of voltaic plasma for aesthetic uses. Also, it's got better performance than most lasers in tattoo removal without the added side effect of hypopigmentation. Voltaic plasma has not led so far to hypopigmentation after tattoo removal using voltaic plasma, unlike lasers, which are very well known for the hypopigmentation problem. The devices can be made completely portable and very compact. This is one of the advantages about voltaic plasma versus most lasers. Lasers, due to current technology, cannot be shrunk as much as voltaic plasma devices, and this is extremely advantageous. So not only with one plasma device you can apply it for many applications in aesthetics, unlike lasers, but also they're much smaller normally than lasers, so this is one of their advantages. Now we're going to talk about some of the applications of voltaic plasma for aesthetic uses, but mind you, these are not the only applications. Now, they improved the appearance of fine lines around the face, neck and so on, improves the upper eyelid area by using skin tightening on the upper eyelid area, lower eyelid tightening, crossfit attenuation, as we mentioned earlier, tattoo removal. Because of tattoo removal, you can apply it for permanent makeup removal, brown and age spots removal, atrophic scar attenuation, benign moles removal, skin resurfacing. Mind you, skin resurfacing is not the best application for voltaic plasma, but you can still use it for this application. It can also be a substitute for mild peels and peels in general, but if you're looking for a peeling sort of effect, cosmetic peels, chemical peels are much better because they're much easier to use, but you can have the same sort of effects by using voltaic plasma in certain ways. But normally voltaic plasma devices can be slightly more difficult to use for these applications and can be slightly more invasive, but you can still, if you know how to use them well, then you can get similar effects. Then some plasma removal, of course, any moles removed for aesthetic reasons, and these are very good applications because normally the aesthetic results are extremely good, and this is where you have a substitute for a scalpel, a very good better many times substitute for a scalpel, because you don't have to cut out the area, and you're going to get very, very likely, more likely than scalpels, a better aesthetic result, and you don't need sutures that you need with a scalpel, and it's got many more advantages. Now we're going to talk about one example. The related video to this picture is on our website. This is the eyelid tightening after one treatment, and this is quite a noticeable difference. We would say that even in a case like this, it is always better to suggest the client to go through a blepharoplasty, because in order to achieve very good results, then you would need to go through a number of continuous treatments. And every time you have a treatment done using Voltaic Plasma, you're going to get swelling, a downtime, and so on. So if you have a case where a lot of skin has to be reduced or cut out, it's much better many times to refer the client to a blepharoplasty procedure, because you get that swelling and downtime once, and you're done almost forever. So this is our advice to that. But if the client does not have a lot of skin to be reduced, or is of my age, or is in his 40s or 40s, then you may consider this sort of procedures, because they're not as invasive. And in a case like mine, I would not go for a surgical procedure, because I don't have much skin to be reduced anyway. So skin tightening would be a much better option for a person in his 30s, early 40s normally. Now this is another case of eyelid tightening. This is exactly what we mean. In a case like this, eyelid tightening, plasma eyelid tightening, is better than an operation, because you would not cut out anything from an eyelid of the sort, because it's not a lot to get rid of. So, but an eyelid tightening, well, a number of eyelid tightening procedures would be much more suitable to this sort of client. This is an example of crow's feet lower eyelid tightening. This is quite a good example. In this case, we can see that the before picture is of a client that had what do you call it, an upper eyelid tightening procedure done. So and it had it done the day before. So we have some swelling in there, and it's not one of our devices, but she had that procedure done, so you can find the swelling. And this is one of the examples where you can see that although they advertise as being unique devices, the after effects are the exact same. Then we treated this area. You can find the case study on our voltaicplasma.com website, and this is one of the pictures of the results, the after picture. So you can see that these lines there are completely gone after only one treatment. So it's a beautiful result. This is the same client, the right eye of the same client, and you can see the same sort of results. So the good thing about this particular client is that those lines were so evident, even without the client making any facial expression in his smile. You could see the lines being there permanently fixed there. So as soon as we saw this client, I said, look, we're going to do you a lower eyelid tightening, crow's feet attenuation is going to be good for you, and these are the results, which are quite good, as you can see, after one session only. And you can watch the entire procedure on our voltaicplasma.com website, where we've got the full video and the recovery process as well. Then this is just one of the examples of tattoo removal using Voltaic Plasma. We deliberately only treated one part of the tattoo to show the difference between the area that wasn't treated and the treated area. And one of the things that is quite interesting about this is that all the colors faded quite at the same time, whereas with lasers you would have problems with these brighter colors, and this is one of the advantages that you get with plasma tattoo removal devices. The fading is much better than most lasers, and you don't get the side effects of hypopigmentation than you get with lasers. And normally, if you use osmosis as well, you would actually require less sessions in order to fade the tattoo to an acceptable level in order to cover it up later and so on. This is another example of a tattoo fading after only one session, and if you compare it to most laser procedures, this is a much better result, and you can watch the entire procedure how it was carried out on voltaicplasma.com, and there is a full video on this. I think we have to still make the case study, which is not there yet, but you can still watch the full procedure how it was carried out, and then the after pictures. And here we have a mole removal. This is classic. Once again, you can see how this procedure was carried out, and you have the before and after. But we have loads of more before and after moles removal. You can also watch the entire procedures and case studies. This is another example yet of a case study that we have online for mole removal. You can watch the entire procedure and the before and after, and as you can see here, the results are completely seamless. This is the same person, but on a different mole, so you can see the very good results there after a couple of years. This is me. I had this benign growth of my upper eyelids for 8 months, and I kept it there on purpose because we wanted to use it for advertising and so on. So I had the procedure done. You can watch the entire procedure in a normal speed. It takes half an hour to watch it all, so we made another version where you speed it up, but you can see the results soon after. In a week after, you can see the pink area where the skin is reforming. Not all was removed, so you can see a little bit there left, but it's not bothering me at all. It's too little to be bothering with it. So the array of applications of Voltaic Plasma are amazingly many. So, and this are only a few. This is another example of mole removal. In this case, it's called cerebriform nevus removal, and you can watch the entire procedure on our voltaicplasma.com website. We have a full video of the procedure. You can see also the recovery process of this particular case study. This is yet another example of one of our several case studies on mole removal. You can see all the details on our voltaicplasma.com website. This forms part of one of our several case studies, which we're going to publish much more case studies later on. And this is the end of the presentation. That we hope it was of interest and useful to you. But if you have any particular question, please feel free to get in touch. We're quite keen to hear from you, because what we do is we build our voltaicplasma.com website and all our websites around your requests and what you need. So if you have any question, please do not hesitate to get in touch with us. So thank you very much again for watching this video.